Welcome to another episode of Video Game Reviews, and today we're going to be talking about Huntdown on the Nintendo Switch. So, if you don't know about this game, it's pretty darn solid. I'm going to say that it is maybe not in my top 5 Switch games, but it is certainly in my top 10, I would say. It's got a great look. It's got great audio, okay, and that goes for voices, sound effects, and the music. The music has like kind of a really cool retro wave soundtrack to it. The graphical style really reminds me of something out of a late 80s or probably more like early 90s arcade game. It's got a post-apocalyptic sci-fi, like very gritty Blade Runner type of environment, but here's a game that really pulls that off well and doesn't just lean heavily on the style, but also backs that up with substance. Okay, so it basically looks like Blade Runner. It also reminds me a little bit, as far as the theme goes, of Narc. So I don't know if any of you played that way back in the day or are familiar with that. But more than that, it plays like Rolling Thunder, if any of you guys are familiar with Rolling Thunder. So basically, it's a side-scrolling action game, and you can press up to take cover inside of doorways and things like that. Other than that, the action's pretty straightforward. You can shoot, you can pick up a pretty wide variety of different weapons and sub-weapons, grenades, a boomerang. There's 3 different characters, and they all kind of have their own different personality. Some of the voice clips that they have in different situations are pretty entertaining, kind of funny. Oh, and they all have different weapon sets that they have. Like I said, the graphics have a really cool style to them. The theme is really cool. It's hard. It's really difficult, I'll tell you that. And it's very much worth checking out and playing all the way through. It is a tough one to complete, but I think it's worth it. However, having said that, I do feel like as good as this game is, and as much as I enjoyed it on the first playthrough, it's not really one that I go back to again and again. So the footage that you're seeing here is the first, again, if I'm kind of fumbling around in the footage, it's because I haven't played this game in like 6 months. Yeah, so I'm just trying to find my way around it and everything. But having said that, even when I did pick this up to capture some footage, unlike other situations where I wound up playing like other games that I was picking back up to review for, and I wound up playing through the entire game again, like on accident, that wasn't really the case here. I just played through a couple of levels to capture some footage, and that was it. Again, super engaging, super challenging on the one playthrough that I did, but it's not one that you really go back to time and time again. But again, just to reiterate, having said that, it's very much worth that first playthrough, so I highly recommend sticking it on your wish list and giving it a go. Yeah, the sound effects are crunchy, they're good, they're satisfying. All of the weapons sound good, they feel good to use. It's just a real solid experience. Oh yes, yeah. So, huge note, this might actually be the last thing that I have to say about this game, but is it 2-player? You know what, I can't remember if it's 2-player, but, because I don't have any friends, so it could be 2-player, but I don't play 2-player games, so it would be rad if it is. Hopefully it is. Oh, I'll say that throughout most of the game, the checkpoints are pretty reasonably spaced apart, so even though it's very difficult, I feel like there's not too much repetition required. If you die and have to try again, I mean, there's certainly some repetition involved, but I wouldn't say it's excessive. Oh yeah, man, so a very key point that I definitely wanted to make is that, like a lot of pixel art games, one of the key advantages of this is that it is highly playable both in docked mode as well as in handheld mode. You can definitely enjoy this game in handheld mode, but having said that, I do definitely want to add that the backgrounds in this game are so rich, and there's so much small detail going on with graphics and animation happening in the backgrounds that even though you can enjoy it in handheld mode, I do really recommend playing it in docked mode just to like fully appreciate the artwork that went into this game that you probably are gonna miss if you play in handheld mode. But it's really cool to see. And so one final note to mention, it is actually 2-player co-op, which would be amazing, I imagine. I've never played the game 2-player, but I can tell you it would probably be a really sweet 2-player game, so that's a definite perk as well. Alright, well look guys, I think that's it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Like I said, definitely check this game out. I think it's probably worth full price, but at a minimum, I would say stick it on your wish list and just keep an eye out for a sale if you feel like that's the route you need to take. But again, I think it's probably worth the asking price. It's pretty solid. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Big shout out to all of my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys tuning in and checking out my show, and anybody else who's not a subscriber but happens to be a regular viewer, if that's a thing that's happening. I don't know. But anyway, thanks to all my viewers. We'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.
Bounty found.
I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you